Imagine being fined $100 a day just for putting up Christmas lights. That's exactly what happened to me, and it nearly destroyed my holiday and my marriage. Here's how my HOA turned Christmas into a nightmare. I just need to vent because I'm losing my mind over this absolute nonsense. My husband and I bought our house 2 years ago. It's in a neighborhood with an HOA, which we knew going into it, but the rules seemed reasonable at the time. Basic stuff about lawn maintenance and not parking RVs in the driveway. Nothing too crazy. This year, I decided to go all out for Christmas. I love Christmas. I put up lights on the house, some yard decorations, a big inflatable snowman. The works. Nothing wild. I've seen way more elaborate displays. But it looked nice and festive, and it made me happy. 2 days after I finished decorating, I got a letter from the HOA. Apparently, my Christmas display violates the seasonal decoration guidelines. Guidelines I didn't even know existed because they're not in the main HOA rules. They're in some supplementary document that was never given to us when we bought the house. The letter said, I can only have white or clear lights. Mine are multicolored. Inflatables are not permitted. Decorations cannot extend more than 3 feet from the house. The display can only be up from December 1st to January 5th. I put mine up the week before Thanksgiving. I have 48 hours to remove the non-compliant decorations, or I'll be fined $100 per day. $100 per day. I called the HOA management company, and the woman I spoke to was so condescending. She said, these rules apply to everyone to maintain neighborhood aesthetics. I said I never received these rules, and she said, ignorance of the rules doesn't excuse violation of them. I asked to see the rule document, and she emailed me a 47-page PDF of supplementary guidelines that include insane things like wreaths can only be green or gold. No lawn ornaments visible from the street between January 6th and November 30th. Holiday decorations must be tasteful and understated. My decorations are tasteful. They're normal Christmas decorations that thousands of people have. My next-door neighbor has almost the exact same setup as me. I asked if they got a letter. They said no. So apparently, the HOA is selectively enforcing this. My husband wants me to just take down the decorations to avoid the fines. I'm so angry about this. It's Christmas. I want to have Christmas lights. This is my house that I paid for with my own money. I looked up who's on the HOA board. It's run by this woman, Diane, who lives 3 streets over. I've never even met her, but apparently, she has nothing better to do than patrol the neighborhood looking for Christmas decoration violations. I try to fight it. I sent an email saying I never received these supplementary guidelines and that the rule seems overly restrictive. The response was basically, rules are rules. Remove the decorations or face daily fines starting December 1st. So now I have to decide if I want to keep my Christmas decorations up and potentially owe thousands of dollars in fines, or take them down and let the HOA win. My mom thinks I should just comply and avoid the stress. My best friend thinks I should leave the decorations up and fight it because the HOA is being ridiculous. My husband is stressed because he thinks if we don't comply, they'll put a lien on our house or something. I'm just so tired of this. I can't even enjoy Christmas in my own home because some woman on a power trip has decided my lights are too colorful. That's what my husband keeps saying. He's terrified they'll actually go through with the lien thing. I hate the idea of moving again, but honestly, after this, I don't know if I can deal with living under Diane's dictatorship for the next 30 years. Honestly, at this point, joining the board just to vote Diane out is tempting. I wonder how many other people in the neighborhood are sick of her nonsense too. Comply for now, but fight. Read every document pertaining to your HOA to see what the rules are about adopting supplementary guidelines. Then check the history to make sure everything was done correctly. That is, make sure these guidelines are legally binding on you. Also make sure these HOA is keeping up with everything else it is supposed to do. Document the selective enforcement too. If you think you have something, hire a lawyer to write them a letter about how they are wrong. If you don't have anything, you can still rally the neighbors for a rules change or to support you running for the board yourself. This is really good advice. Thank you. I'm going to dig through all the paperwork we got at closing and see if these supplementary rules were even mentioned. The selective enforcement thing really gets me because my neighbor has the exact same setup and they got nothing. Update, December 6th, 2025, 3 days later. I honestly don't know if I'm looking for advice or just need to scream into the void at this point, but here we are. It's been 3 days since I posted. Things have gotten so much worse. So after I posted, the comments were pretty split. Half of you said take the decorations down and pick my battles. The other half said fight it because the HOA is being ridiculous. I was leaning toward fighting it. My husband was not. We've been arguing about this nonstop for 3 days. He wants the decorations down. I kept saying no, it's the principle of it. He said principals don't pay the mortgage when they put a lien on our house. I genuinely didn't think they'd follow through on the daily fines. I thought it was a scare tactic. It's not a scare tactic. Yesterday, I checked our mailbox and there was a letter from the HOA. An invoice for $500. 5 days of fines. December 1st through December 5th, $100 per day. I stared at it for like 10 minutes. My husband came home from work and I showed him. He didn't say anything at first, just looked at the paper. Then he said, "So what are we doing?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "We need to decide because every day we wait is another $100. We got into the worst fight we've had in our entire relationship. He said I'm being irrational and stubborn. That I'm going to cost us thousands of dollars over Christmas lights. I said the HOA is bullying us, and if we give in now, they'll know they can push us around forever. He said, "This isn't about bullying. This is about money we don't have. We can't afford this." I knew he was right, but I was too angry to admit it. I said I'd go to the board meeting next week and fight to get the fines waived. He said the board meeting isn't until the 10th, and by then we'll owe $1,000. That's what really hit me. We're already at $500. For more days until the meeting means $900 total. And what if I go to the meeting and they don't waive anything? What if they just tell me to pay up? I didn't sleep last night. I kept running the numbers. $100 per day adds up so fast. And I kept thinking about what happens if we don't pay. Can they really put a lien on our house? I Googled it at 2 a.m. Yes, they absolutely can. This morning I woke up and my husband was already gone for work. There was a note on the kitchen counter. "I'm taking the decorations down tonight when I get home. I'm sorry. I can't watch us lose everything over this. I love you. I lost it." I called him sobbing, begged him not to touch my decorations. He said someone has to be the adult here and make the hard choice. I said it's my house too. He can't just make this decision without me. He said, "Then you take them down, because I'm not letting us get to $1,000 in fines." I hung up on him, sat in the kitchen crying, looking out the window at my Christmas lights. They look so pretty in the daytime, even when they're not on. The inflatable snowman looks happy, and I'm going to have to take it all down because I can't afford to keep being stubborn. But then this morning, I made a huge mistake. I went on our neighborhood Facebook group. There was a post from 2 days ago that I somehow missed. From Diane, the HOA president. A friendly reminder about holiday decoration guidelines. With a photo attached. Of my house. She posted a picture of MY decorations as an example of what violates the rules. My house. My decorations. For everyone in the neighborhood to see. The comments were brutal. People calling my decorations tacky and gaudy. Someone said I'm the reason HOAs exist. Another person said I'm bringing down everyone's property values. One comment said, "Thank God the board is handling this." I'm being publicly shamed on Facebook by my own neighbors. People I've never even met are trashing my house online. I screenshotted it and sent it to my husband. He called me immediately. He was furious. Not at the HOA, at me. He said, "Why are you looking at that? You're just making yourself more upset. This is exactly why we need to end this now." I said, "Did you see what they're saying about us?" He said, "I don't care what they're saying. I care that we owe $500 and counting." He got home from work an hour ago. Didn't say a word to me. Just went straight outside and started taking down the decorations. I'm watching him from the living room window right now as I type this. He's been out there for 45 minutes. It's cold. His hands are probably freezing. The snowman is deflated in a sad pile on the grass. He's pulling down the light strands one by one. Our house is going to look so bare. I should go help him. I know I should, but I can't make myself move. I just keep crying. I feel like I failed, like I let the HOA win. But more than that, I feel like I've damaged my marriage over something so stupid. My husband is right. He's been right this whole time. I was too proud and stubborn to admit it, and now we owe $500, probably $600 by tomorrow, and he's out in the cold cleaning up my mess. Every other house on our street gets to have their white lights and their tasteful decorations. Our house is going to look like we hate Christmas. I don't even want to celebrate anymore. The whole thing is ruined. I still have to go to that board meeting on the 10th and beg them to reduce the fines. But I'm not hopeful. I've already proven I won't follow their rules. Why would they help me? I hate this. So what did I learn from all this? First, HOAs have way more power than you think. They can fine you, they can put a lien on your house, and they can make your life miserable over the smallest things. Second, always read every single document when you buy a house in an HOA. Ask for every supplement, every guideline, every update. Don't assume the main rules are the only rules. Third, selective enforcement is real. If you see it happening, document everything. Take photos, get statements from neighbors, and keep every letter and email. Fourth, sometimes you have to pick your battles. I wanted to stand up for what I thought was right, but it cost me money, stress, and almost my marriage. Was it worth it? I don't know. Maybe if I'd had more support from neighbors, or if I'd joined the board myself, things would be different. Finally, if you're dealing with an unreasonable HOA, you're not alone. There are thousands of us out there. Maybe one day, enough of us will get together and change things for the better. But for now, my house is dark, my snowman is in the garage, and I'm counting down the days until January 5th, when I can put up a single green wreath and pretend it's enough. If you've ever battled an HOA or just love hearing wild neighborhood stories, hit subscribe, like, and share your own HOA horror stories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and happy holidays, no matter what your lights look like.